Meantime, the military withdrawal from the U.S. Mexico border is set to miss the original deadline of December 15th. Border reporter Oscar Margain tells us how many remain and how many are expected to assist Customs and Border Protection past the holidays.
In this border brief, troop redeployment deadline. Temporary military bases, including Camp Donna in South Texas, are continuing to show activity. Soldiers are seen removing sea wire and transporting military vehicles out of town. According to Army North, there are 4,200 military personnel assisting Customs and Border Protection along the boundary with Mexico. 1,700 of them still in Texas, while 1,000 remain in Arizona and 1,500 in California. That's 1,700 fewer troops on the border compared to the height of the mission. The first large redeployment, sending troops back to their home bases, began Tuesday with 750 members from Texas and Arizona. This is planned to continue for the next few weeks. Arizona and California should expect to continue seeing soldiers at their southern border until January 31st. Meanwhile, about 2,100 National Guard continue their operations along the border as well. That's your border brief. I'm Oscar Margain reporting.